This was prepared for the third annotated bibliography. It's a study entitled the Daily Activity Report, or DAR for short, a novel measure of functional outcome for serious mental illness. So this was a study conducted by Veligan et al. And it's an examination of the feasibility of gathering data on a daily basis on patients undergoing clinical trials for medications targeting negative symptoms and cognitive impairment. For this particular study, participants included 50 individuals with a clinical diagnosis of schizophrenia or schizoaffective disorder, and they were recruited from community mental health clinics in South Texas. Each was assessed using the DAR for 7 days by way of a phone interview 3 times per day with a trained interviewer. And a similar procedure was followed 1 month later. Now, the authors cite the reference for the DAR, so it is easily accessed by anyone. And the instrument measures scores in 3 domains: instrumental activity, i.e. independent living, social, and work or school related activities. So the scores from the treatment group were then compared with a control group of 25 individuals. Now, the results indicate that the DAR score for the participants was significantly correlated with negative symptoms, but only moderately so for positive symptoms. And interreliability or inter-item consistency was high for each domain, and that ranged between 0.89 to 0.94 and a 0.88 overall. And the test-retest reliability for the total DAR score was 0.67 with a P score of 0.0001. Now, with this being an early feasibility study, the authors recognize that many modifications need to be made as some of the data collected was deemed to be redundant. Now, what the results did show was that large amounts of time were consumed by the experimental group in what would be considered non-productive activities such as sleeping and watching TV. So with further study on larger sample sizes, the DAR will likely emerge as a reliable tool in measuring the effectiveness of treatment for those affected by mental illness. And interestingly, the authors suggest that further development could lead to self-reporting apps for smartphones, rather than having to have trained telephone interviewers that need to do that currently. So that conjures up the idea that smartphone apps could possibly develop to also augment treatment programs. So far, I haven't found anything in that regard, but that will likely be for future study.